On May 22nd, it was reported that the first 3 out of 32 F-35A fighter jets were delivered to Poland. Ordered 6 years ago, these jets are part of the European nation's continued modernization efforts. Let's go over the background of this purchase, the country's plans for these jets, and how it all fits into the bigger picture of Polish-American relations in today's video. Welcoming the jets as they landed at the Air Force Base in Łusk, Defense Minister Władysław Kosiniak-Kamysz was quoted as saying, "These are the first fifth-generation fighters on NATO's eastern flank. For Poland, this is not just new equipment, but entry into the top league of global air forces." Prior to delivery on Polish soil, Polish Air Force pilots had already been training with the fighter jets in the preceding months in the United States. According to the website Notes from Poland, by the end of this year, a total of 14 F-35s are expected to arrive and will reach full operational readiness in 2027. Delivery and operational readiness of all 32 aircraft is expected to be completed by 2032. The F-35s are due to be officially welcomed on June 12th. So, how did we get here? Well, it was actually all the way back in 2018 that the Polish Ministry of Defense announced a new fighter aircraft program to replace its aging Soviet-era jets, the MiG-29 and Su-22. As reported by the website Aeroflap, there were 4 companies in competition to supply new generation aircraft to Poland. Lockheed Martin, putting forward both the F-35 and F-16V, Boeing with the F-15 and FA-18, Saab and the Gripen, and then the Eurofighter Consortium offering the Eurofighter Typhoon. According to the Aviationist, it was on September 11, 2019 that the US State Department approved the sale of 32 F-35 jets to Poland at a cost of $6.5 billion. Poland would move forward and opt for the F-35A CTOL or conventional takeoff and landing variant. Then, in 2020, Poland's Ministry of Defense would finalize its purchase and sign the Letter of Offer and Acceptance, or LOA, for the 32 fighter jets. Production of the Polish jets would begin in 2023, and the first jet assembled for Poland would be revealed in 2024. In the Polish Air Force, these jets have the nickname Husarz. This is a reference to the famous Polish winged hussar heavy cavalry units that were active from the 16th to the 18th century. Poland joins a long list of European nations that have selected the F-35 for their air forces, a list that includes Norway, the Netherlands, Italy, the UK, Denmark and Belgium. European nations still awaiting first delivery include Switzerland, Romania, Germany, Greece, Finland and the Czech Republic. The purchase of the F-35s is part of a large-scale expansion and modernization of Poland's armed forces, launched under the PIS government. The modernization process was then accelerated in 2022 after Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Other modernization efforts include an order for 48 Fa-50 fighter aircraft from South Korea, 12 of which have already been delivered. In 2025, Poland signed a $3.8 billion agreement with the United States to modernize the entire Polish fleet of 48 F-16 jets. In a video we published in February 2026, we noted that Warsaw has been eyeing 32 additional fighter jets for several years now as part of the Polish Armed Forces air dominance requirement. To date, the aircraft types being mentioned by the media include the Boeing F-15EX, the Eurofighter Typhoon, the Kf-21 Borome from South Korea, or even more F-35As from Lockheed Martin. We noted that it was unclear, at least to us, if Poland was leaning more in one direction than another, or if increased media reporting for one jet just made it appear that the F-15EX was the frontrunner. This purchase seems to still be very much in the air, and so it's something we'll have to keep a close eye on in the months ahead. Polish-US relations have seemingly been all over the place in recent times, which doesn't really give us any indication if the European nation will continue to buy American weapons and equipment. You may recall that the Pentagon said in mid-May that it would delay a rotation of 4,000 US troops from the 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team, 1st Cavalry Division to Poland as part of a broader review of the US force posture in Europe. US Vice President J.D. Vance defended the decision and told a Polish reporter that the US wanted Europe to take more responsibility for its defense and security, adding, "Poland is capable of defending itself with a lot of support from the United States." The original decision, which appeared to catch Warsaw by surprise, was then reversed by President Donald Trump, who later announced the deployment of a quote-unquote additional 5,000 US troops to the European nation. The announcement, which was made on Trump's social media platform, stated, "Based on the successful election of the now President of Poland, Karol Nawrocki, who I was proud to endorse, and our relationship with him, I am pleased to announce that the United States will be sending an additional 5,000 troops to Poland." Speaking to reporters, NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte said he welcomed the move, noting that military commanders were working through all the details. According to The Guardian, it was not immediately clear whether the deployment would be rotational or permanent, or if there was any link to Trump's previous decision to pull 5,000 troops out from Germany. The Polish president immediately thanked Trump for his, quote, friendship towards Poland, the practical dimension of which we see very clearly today. Nawrocki also stated, "I stand and will continue to stand guard over the Polish-American alliance, a vital pillar of security for every Polish home and for all of Europe." At least in terms of military purchases, Poland has been a major customer of American arms. The country has purchased hundreds of Abrams tanks as well as committed to the aforementioned F-16 modernization. The Polish army is also set to receive a total of 500 American HIMARS, which it had ordered in 2019, and now operates the Patriot missile system, which was ordered in 2018. As we stated in a previous video, Europe's position and attitude toward the United States is quite mixed. Obviously, Denmark has been extremely put off by Americans hoping to somehow take Greenland. Germany and Spain have also been vocal/critical of US action in the Middle East. However, on Europe's eastern flank, the governments of Poland and the three Baltic nations see the United States as security guarantors, with US army deployments in the region acting as valuable deterrents against Russian aggression. Poland currently sees a total of about 10,000 troops of the US armed forces stationed in the country, primarily as part of a rotational presence. But bringing all of this back to the adoption of the F-35, the recent delivery is just the continuance of decisions made years and years ago. However, it's also a reminder of Poland's close defense relationship with the United States, which results in continued openness to buy American arms, more so than other European allies. But what do you think of Poland being one of Europe's newest F-35 operators? Let us know by leaving a comment.